Hi guys, as almost everyone in the country knows, package theft, when packages are left on your front porch or in front of your house, the package theft issue and concern is a growing concern and a problem many people face. It's very difficult when you got working families, people are away, they're not home all the time to be able to receive those packages. We've got multiple different delivery couriers showing up. You got the majors, the FedEx, UPS, United States Postal Service, and typically you'll get a route person on those that are pretty familiar with what your requests are on how to handle these package deliveries and where to stash things so they're a little bit more out of sight. But Amazon, more and more of us are shopping with convenience, ease, and good pricing through Amazon, and they're subcontracting a lot of their deliveries out to these these hacks, to be quite honest. People in their personal cars, oftentimes getting a whole carload of items to deliver, maybe biting off more than they can chew, getting caught up in traffic. And I've had several deliveries past the 9:30 at night. I don't know what their actual cutoff time is, but it's pretty piss poor. We've had neighbors in our neighborhood, and it was after they went to sleep, and they went and took the package and threw it right on the front porch in plain view, and of course it got swiped about 2 o'clock in the morning. And so any security cameras they had captured all the events happening, but of course nobody woke up to do anything about it, and the package was gone. So, for a number of years I've had a solution that's worked, and it's worked pretty well, but with these other people coming on board, these contracted people using their car like a lift service, so to speak, and they just pile them in, and they just come show up, throw it, basically roll down the window and toss it on your front porch and drive off. They don't really give much concern about anything. So I get really aggressive in contacting these major companies and getting notes put on the file, so anytime something gets delivered, they are requested to use a shipping container. In my, it's a secure shipping container I'm going to show you here in a moment. In my address label, I always put the receiving box code number and a 4-digit, 5-digit, whatever the digits may be, a code that's always on that package, so they can open up the secured container, deposit the box, and leave. And I just have a little bit more peace of mind that my stuff isn't going to be picked up by the little thugs that are running around in the middle of the night and in the middle of the day. They really don't care. They are pretty brazen about when they go about doing this type of stuff, of course. And so anyway, typical routine is they would come up to the front door, and I have a laminated sign over here that kind of explains a little bit. Hopefully they can see that. It explains to go to the corner of the house. They may just drop it down here, and that's just a chance they take. But at any rate, sometimes they come over here because they think this is a good shielding area, so it's not seen by the street. But if they come and look, oh gosh, this guy wants it around the corner. So it only takes a quick second. And before, it was a little more difficult, because this container that I'm about to show you is what contractors use to secure their tools on job sites. 4-digit master lock that's got a combination you hit with your thumb, and it was a little bit difficult to see in the nighttime. And some of the drivers, they said they forgot their glasses, so occasionally, this is the box here that we're talking about. Metal container, very durable. It's been out in the weather for the past 15 years. It's been rained on and snowed on and whatever things. It's like a tank, really, to be honest. They can't get into it, they'll just throw the box there. So what I did is I went ahead, and after all these years of having this, was at a company that I worked at, which was basically, we were field service. We weren't always around to collect the items that were being shipped to us, sometimes international packages or whatnot, but it was outside there for a long time, and now it's at my house. So basically, the 4-digit master lock, if you look down here in this corner, this little cutout would have this lock, and they'd have to hit the digits, and they'd have to push this bar over to unlatch it. They could open it up, put the box inside, and then they'd close the lid and take off. Well, they didn't complete the steps, and the box was still unlocked, and they could get into it. Somebody were to stumble by or be watching them and come in here to try to pick up whatever it was, they could pick it up. So they'd have to basically go down, put the latch over the other way, and use their thumb to push the lock, engage the lock, so this wouldn't move anymore, and then it would be in a secured position. Okay, that was just way too much, too complicated for anybody on a first-time use basis that's going to figure that out. I said there's a better way to do this. It's going to cost a couple bucks to get it done, but it's going to be way better with easier results. And as you see down here, alarm lock. They're really robust and durable. They've been around for a number of years. And I'm sure you're quite familiar with the pin pad on the door at the complex, the office, or whatnot. So basically, I just go in here, you hear that clicking noise in there. The is now open, and they can take the box, put it nice inside right there, close the lid, and walk away. You try to open this lid, it's latched up. And you know, the way that I put this together, I'm not overly concerned about someone getting back here. Most people don't see this box by the street anyway. I mean, it does have a little notice on the side of it if somebody were to look that it says box contents emptied daily. I mean, if somebody came back here, I mean, I've got a house, my neighbor next door, pretty close proximity of windows. If they were back here with, like, they'd have to come with some major tools, and they're not going to come with a cutting torch or die grinder, cut off wheel. I mean, they'd have to pry on this thing pretty heavily. I mean, they might be able to try to put something in there and tear it up. I mean, that's the type of action you would see when these things are typically filled full of thousands of dollars of construction tools on a construction site. A lot of those guys will take and pick them, cherry pick them off, and hang them from a crane or a boom or some sort way up in the air when they're not on the work site, just to get them up off the ground so somebody can't really get up to them and mess with them. These containers are pretty heavy duty, but so basically and that opens this electronic strike for 5 seconds to get the lid open, and then as soon as the lid is closed, it is once again securely latched and they can take off. I understand that the delivery agents, they're on a time schedule. They got a whole truckload full of goodies to get out to everybody, and they're trying to beat traffic, and they're not looking to spend too much time, and I'm nobody special. I'm just another delivery person, or another person that needs to be delivered to. I get it. So I just simplified the whole process, redo the signage, and maybe make a little information on it that it's super easy to open. Please use the secure box around the corner, and hopefully we'll get a little bit better participation from our lovely delivery peoples when they show up here. But real quickly here, open it up one more time. I just took a little bit of a plate, and I don't look too closely or be too critical. If you look on, see the bubblegum welding here, I am not a welder. Anybody that knows me at work knows that. I've just been fooling around a few times, but I was sufficient enough to get a little bit of a plate welded on here so I could get this latch bolt mounted and fixed the way I wanted it. Also put a plate, welded it around here. Back up here you can see, put some paint over, you know, cover it up a little bit, make it look nice, and hide the ugliness of that. But that is really effective, this plate. Little project box. Down below we got a 12-volt battery. They suggested that battery probably be charged about every 3 months, and easily bring out an extension cord and give it a little charge for a little bit. This takes so little amount of current that it's going to last for a long time off of that battery. And so the question is well, what if you kind of slipped your mind, or that battery down there goes dead and you got this thing locked up? How in the heck you got to get that thing open, man? 12 volts. Well, I actually thought of that. Mechanically, there's no way to really open this box unless you're going to destroy the box. We look inside of here, there's a little pigtail, and that's the plus and minus for 12 volts straight to the battery. I got a cap on it to try to keep some moisture out of it. I popped that cap off of there. I can plug the charger right into that spot. It'll put, or even a 12 volt DC power supply, little wall wart on the extension cord. It'll power this thing up, and I can go ahead and put in the pin code, open it up, and do any type of maintenance I need to. So as far as that's concerned, the cable routing on here, I got some affixed to the sides here so there's no snag points when they're putting parcels and stuff in here. The battery's fixed with some double stick tape. You don't want any of that moving around and having any damage to that. It's pretty critical that it doesn't get damaged, or else I'm going to have to go ahead and get another power supply on the outside to get the thing open and fix it back up. So that was a fun project. Finally got that accomplished. Been wanting to do this for a very long time, and the parts and pieces just kind of, you know, get online, you start kind of thinking, and it's a fun little project. This latch, if anyone has probably seen those on doors and such, typically that type of latch bolt is the horizontal bar. It's an emergency exit push bar that you notice on a lot of big doors, required by fire code for quick exiting of buildings, and so typically you have to buy the whole damn bar, and it's a lot of expensive all there for most of it. It's just going to get removed and thrown aside, not ever being used in this application. But I did find this as a spare part, which was pretty difficult. I was surprised, on a website, and I was able to get that piece there. It's got a couple of bolts holding that in there, and it's not going anywhere. It's really secure, and the electronic latch, really cool. Hess brand. It's a well-known and reputable alloy. Yeah, it's a Asa alloy. Anyone knows anything about lock brands? They're a well-known lock brand, very good and rugged. The other last thing I was going to mention here as well, inside of this black box, before I actually had this hooked up, I've got a little tiny email notification server in my house, and there's a lovely dog next door. But anyway, you know, that's the other part of the alarm system. Dogs and a barking with everyone up, draw some attention, so I guess that's good too. What I was about to get to though is that I actually have an email notification system in the house hooked up to the internet, and I have wireless sensors on my doors and in the house. Anytime you open and close, I get an email notification. And for this box, I actually have it also, and it's actually got a little label on it, receiving bin. And I used to have it hooked up over here with a magnetic contact switch. And when the lid was closed, it would be in one position, and then when this plastic magnet here, this magnet that's fixed here would come up, it would trigger that. And basically I was using a garage door opener. Hey, go lay down. So basically I used to I had a garage door opener that was affixed on the inside here. I was using that as a transmitter because it had a little more long range than the ones you would put on your house for an alarm system. You can usually drive up to your house and push the garage door opener, and that's what I was using to trigger my notification system. Well, I was able to, and just happens that it actually runs off a 12-volt DC battery, so I was able to use the same battery supply voltage without any regulator involved or anything, and it's inside of that black box down there. And this strike here, if you, sorry about the angle of the camera there, get this put here for example here, this strike, whenever the lid is closed, this plate actually has a contact behind it, open and closed, and every time the lid is open, it triggers the garage door opener, which sends my cell phone an email, so I know when my packages have arrived, or anybody's accessed the box, basically is all it's telling me. But it's, you know, useful information. Sometimes you're kind of concerned if they got the lid open and put the package in there, if they just threw it on the porch. So anyway, all I have to do is close the lid. That's the beauty of this. It's always locked whenever you close the lid. After pin code in 5 seconds, lid's closed, it's latched up. So there we go. It's a big ass ugly box, I know. Homeowner Association got a little pissed off about it being in front of the gate, which wasn't a gate before. It was on the front of the house, and I kind of agree it was a little bit unsightly, but it's back behind the gate now. And this fence here used to not have a gate on this side until they bitched and complained about it, so then I turned it into a gate. Put a little notice on it. Yeah, there's a lot of different things people are trying to mitigate package theft. There's Amazon lockers in different retail locations, but that's still a pain in the ass because you got to go drive out there and pick up your package. And that's only good for Amazon deliveries. What about UPS, FedEx, and United States Postal Service? As you saw, that box is pretty large too. I can get some very big, expensive goodies in that box and have them secured and not be concerned. I could have 2 or 3 computers, full-size desktop computers or something. Back in the day, that used to be something that, you know, we used to deal a lot with, but nowadays it's just different types of stuff. And so anyway, hope everything's going well out there. If you guys got some cool ideas or comments about this, love to hear about them in the comments below. So we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.